Hi class, this is Mrs. Bissot here. Now that we're done reading the story, The Handiest Things in the World, it is time for you to take out your Wonders Close Reading Companion. And please turn to page 13 in your book. Page 13, a 1 and a 3. And it looks like this. Now I took it out to show you how to do the worksheet, but you please go ahead and leave it in your book. Okay, now friends, what is the first thing you do on your pages? Write your name. Please go ahead and write your name on the top. I will write my name and you write yours. Mrs. Bissot. And I notice you're writing your name much faster now, aren't you? Now that you're practicing every day with all your worksheets. All right, now let's look at our worksheet and figure out what they want us to do. It says the handiest things in the world, and it has a picture of our book, and it matches our book, so we know that we're using this book to answer the questions. Now, before we look at the question, I see something here. It says tip of the day. This is a tip that will help us solve our question even easier in an easier way. So let's find out what they want us to do. It says tip of the week. Actually, tip of the week by Logan. This is Logan here, and it says, when I reread, I compare the pictures. So reread means you're reading it again. Remember, we listened to the story. You listened to the story yesterday, and we reread it today. You listened to it again today. Now, when we're solving the question that they want us to solve and to find the answer for, we're going to compare pictures. Now, what does compare mean? Compare means we're looking at two or more things and we're seeing how they are the same. Are they the same? Maybe even how are they different? So we're going to be comparing pictures here in the story. So now let's see, what is our question? It says, look, what is something that is the same in both photographs, in both photos, both pictures in the book, and something that is different? Draw what is different. But I feel like that's not enough information. What two pictures do they want me to look at? Well, let's keep going. Let's look down here. You can use your hands and a watering can to blank. Oh, there you go. So they want us to look at the pictures where there was a watering can. So let's find that. And guess what? I found it for you earlier. And I put a little sticky note on it. There was the picture where they used a watering can. The girl used a watering can. What did she use the watering can for? She used her hands to do the same thing here, and she used a watering can to do. She's doing the same thing. So let's compare the pictures. How are they the same? What is she doing in both pictures? She's watering the plants. Now, how are the pictures different? How are they different? How is she watering the plants on this side? With her hands, only with her hands, no extra tools. And how about here? Here she's using a watering can to help her as her tool. And let's see, even more specifically, let's see what words the author actually used beside. He didn't say watering the plants. We know she's watering the plants because you could tell from the photos, but let's see what the book actually says. Two wet hands can hold and pour. Oh, there you go. The two hands and the watering can, they can hold and pour. They hold water and pour. This will pour a whole lot more. So the watering can hold and pour a lot more water than her hands would. She would have to do a lot more trips of filling her hands up with water, pouring it, filling them up, pouring. That would take a long time. But this tool, the watering can, helps her hold and pour more water for her plant. Okay, so now let's take a look. Now we know what they're talking about. We compared the pictures and we saw how they were the same. They were both pouring and holding water, and how they were different. One had a watering can and one did not. So now let's see. It says, here's what they want us to do. Draw what is different. So what was different? What was different from this side and this side? The watering can, the tool that she used, the watering can to hold and pour more water. So let's draw the watering can. So let's go ahead and start. On the top, let's draw a long, stretched out, an oval, like a stretched out circle. Then draw 2 lines going straight down. Okay. Connect them together. Now let's draw 2 lines sticking out side by side. They are parallel. That's a big kid word you're going to learn later. They're going the same direction. Okay. Now close it, connect them together. Now we're going to draw 2 lines sticking out of it. And connect those 2 lines. That's where the water will come out. Let's draw some little dots for where the water will come out. And let's draw the water. Boop, boop, boop. Now it needs a little handle too. So on the other side, let's make a little, like a C, and then over it, a bigger C. That makes our handle. So that was what was different in both pictures, was that one had the watering can as a tool and the other one she only used her hands. Now if you want to get creative and fancy, you could even draw her plant. You could even draw her hands holding the watering can. Now let's finish the sentence. This was a really long one. We're going to have a lot of reading dots. It says, you can use your hands and a watering can to what? Look, it says to hold and pour. So we're going to write hold and pour. Hold and pour what? Water. We're just going to say hold and pour so it matches our book. So friends, I want you to notice that our sentence is already started, and it started with a capital letter. They put spaces in between the words, and it says you can use your hands and a watering can to, what did we say? Hold and pour. To hold and pour. And so let's go ahead and write hold and pour. And the fun thing is that we don't have to work too hard to write hold and pour, because it already says it in our book, so we can copy the words from the book. I'm using the book as my tool to help me. So hold is old, H-O-L-D. So H is a tall letter from the sky to the ground, straight line down with the hill. An O that goes under the grass line, a tall L, and a D, which is a cookie with a line behind it. Hold. So there's the word hold. To hold and pour. So those are 2 more words, so we have to put a space in between. So either put your popsicle stick spacer, or a crayon or a pencil or something, or use finger space to make sure that there's space. They're not all squished together. So hold and they showed us how to spell and, A-N-D, and guess what? That's going to be one of your sight words real soon too. So it's good to practice it. And so make sure it's not next to the D, make sure there's some space. A-N-D. Hold and pour. So you'll move your spacer over behind the D, and we'll write our last word, pour. And they spelled it for us here, P-O-U-R. Isn't it great knowing our letters and sounds now? Now it could help us copy some words even faster. P-O-U-R. So make sure there's space. Now, a lowercase p is not tall all the way to the sky. It starts in the grass line and goes under the ground where the worms are. So please, we don't want to see any uppercase P's here. Lowercase p will go under the ground with the belly. Cookie, O-U-R. And if you run out of space, it's okay. I could come out a little bit. Reading dot, hold, and pour. Now I'm done with my sentence. It's an extremely long sentence. Now, how do we know that we're done? What do we need to put at the end? A period. Go ahead and put a period. It's a dot to complete the thought, and it's a dot on the floor line right here, on the ground, next to the last thing you wrote, which was the R for pour. Now our sentence says, you can use your hands and a watering can to hold and pour. Now, if you want to challenge yourself, you could sound out the word water if you wanted to and write water and then make the period. But this is perfect, friends. Thank you so much for helping me find out what we needed to write and helping me look at the key details in the story and helping me compare the two pictures. I will see you again later. Thank you. Bye.